She got his name tattooed on her neck, and then in the next episode, he eliminates her. What's up, everybody? I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock NBA, and today we are here to talk about the mission that I have been on for the last 4 years that I've been doing this channel. My mission to bring rock back to the mainstream. And let me ask you a question. Is it a coincidence that last time rock was massive back in the mid to late 2000s, when it was still at the top of the charts, that this was also the peak of rock-themed reality shows such as Rock of Love, The Osbournes, Gene Simmons' Family Jewels, or that show where Ted Nugent had a band with the guys from Anthrax and Biohazard? I don't think so. And by the way, yes, that did happen, and yes, it was as awkward as it sounds. I believe in the power of reality TV as a marketing vehicle. So in this video, I'm going to show you why my personal favorite one of those shows, Rock of Love, starring Bret Michaels of Poison, is amazing and great. Or more accurately, why it's so full of cringe and awkward moments that it's like some horrible car accident that you just can't stop looking at. And hopefully inspire somebody to start a new generation of rock reality shows to propel rock back to its rightful place, sitting on its throne as the king of pop culture. But first, if you haven't, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. And also, I want to thank everybody who supports us on Patreon. Patrons get access to every one of my podcasts a week early. There's a members-only private Discord server that I'm in all the time. It's gotten super active lately, which is awesome. I've also started doing patron-only Q&As where I'm able to give longer, more in-depth answers to questions than I can in a YouTube comments video or in a DM. And there's also a way to have me review your music or video or podcast or artwork or anything else that you might want to get my eyes or ears on. So if that sounds cool to you, you can check it out at the link in the description. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Before we get into the show, let me just quickly set the stage. For anybody who's not familiar, Bret Michaels is the singer of Poison, who I think were probably the biggest hair metal band of the 80s, other than Guns N' Roses, if you want to count them as hair metal. Their big hit was Every Rose Has Its Thorn, which came out in 1988. Every rose has its thorn. And you kind of get a sense of where the show is headed just from the intro. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I do not want to touch his backstage pass or ride his limousine. And that wink, the... Bret's had a lot of success in the rock and roll world, but what's missing is that special someone.
Rock and roll is an insatiable bitch goddess, but I love her. And I'm just looking for that one woman in my life to participate in that threesome. And I know, deep in my heart, deep in my soul, and deep in my loins, that one of these 25 women is gonna be the one for me.
Deep in my loins. And so that sets the stage for Rock of Love. The Chad energy is off the charts, rolling up on a bright yellow Harley in a sleeveless t-shirt, boot-cut jeans, and cowboy boots. I could never.
It's finally here, like my dream. I'm standing in front of Bret Michaels. This is like the thing I've been waiting for my whole life.
Loved his blonde hair and his bandanas.
I love the rock aesthetic, like the guitars on the wall and the Harleys, flames everywhere.
It's finally time to meet Bret, and I'm so excited. I've been a huge fan of his for forever, and so I'm just waiting to see how sexy he is.
And finally, he's here, emerging from his lair, marked with BMB. I don't know what that stands for, but I hope it's like Bret motherfucking Bret or something.
God, he's like the hottest rock star ever. Yeah.
She sounds so sincere.
I haven't been on a lot of dates. I've either had crazy, wild rock and roll bus sex.
Remember when I said Bret had a lot of gross, cringy things to say? Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
The heaving, well-implanted breasts caught my eye immediately. To have lovely, hot breasts. You don't want to go through the rest of your life, and you don't got no bump going on. When Sam said to me she wanted an orgasm, from that point on, my date was over. I just wanted to get on Sam.
I love when he's talking to these girls, like, how he has this, like, 1,000-yard stare. Like he's not listening to a thing that they're saying.
This much communication was a lot of work for me.
And the fact that he's wearing eyeliner makes the whole thing just a little bit weirder to me. Kind of unsettling. So many awkward moments here, like him aggressively making out with Sam in front of everybody, including a camera, while Magdalena just sits there eating a strawberry, watching, kind of not sure what else to do with herself. And here's the part that bothers me the most about Bret, is that he talks to them like they all work at Target and he's like their manager.
I'm gonna hang with you and you. We're gonna hang and talk. Then I'm coming to meet. We sat, so I'm gonna find you.
And here's where he explains that this is going to be a completely one-sided relationship, and if you want to be with him, you better be ready for that.
Every night of my life is a party. Are you gonna be able to deal when there's a party going on in the bus and you hear those girls screaming? Are you gonna be able to say, you know what?
You're gonna need to accept my rocker lifestyle, which means that I'm probably going to cheat on you. If not, I'm definitely going to emotionally cheat on you. And you just kind of need to be cool with that.
What's going on up there?
What's going on? One of the best things about Bret is he is just pure Pennsylvania. Although I have to say, I think it's a little bit sus that he talks about the Steelers, or as they call them there, the Stillers. The guys from Mechanicsburg. He should be an Eagles fan.
Kids know what I'm saying.
So after they kind of introduce us to all the girls in that first episode, they kind of settle into the rhythm of the show. And the way every episode is structured is the same. At the beginning, there's some sort of challenge, which is like the first third of the episode. Like this flag football game that Bret takes way too seriously, calling out the plays like he's fucking Tom Brady.
Let two, go long.
Go long. Or this little like dirt bike race. And what makes them so hard to watch for me is there's this undercurrent to a lot of them where like they're trying to humiliate the girls and you're supposed to find that entertaining. For example, this one, which is a series of like tour bus challenges, like they have to pack a suitcase. That part's fine, but then it gets super weird. He makes them change into this like really sexy outfit, which they're vocally uncomfortable about and like clearly don't want to wear.
We're also changing into this crotchless lace onesie.
And he doesn't even give them a dressing room. He makes them change in a shit-filled porta potty. It's honestly like, it's not even funny. It's gross and hard to watch. And I'm shocked that even back then anybody thought this was okay. But that's not enough. After making them change into this uncomfortable outfit in a porta potty, he makes them dig for a guitar pick in a fucking dumpster. I want to say that he's not a bad guy, but it's like, who would sign off on this? Who would want to be the star of a show where you're making women do all this like degrading shit? There's a cringy pinup photo shoot kind of thing, but probably the most awkward one of all is the phone sex challenge. The scenario is, I'm on tour and we can't be together, and the girls have to like demonstrate their best phone sex skills on a landline to Bret wearing these fucking flame pajamas. But that's not it. Oh no, it gets even worse. To judge the winner of this competition, they have Bret hooked up to some machine that measures his boner with a guy in like a fake doctor coat. Dr. Boner. After the challenge segment, they go back home for the house drama segment where they fight and talk shit about each other and all that stuff.
When I was listening to the drums, I was like, this sucks. You're trying too hard. Just stop.
And speaking of drama, there's some stuff on the show that definitely didn't age well.
I noticed there's a split. There's like more of like the slutty, outgoing girls versus the more bitchy, introverted girls. You know, not as whorish.
And then at the end, it's time for elimination. At the end of every episode, he picks at least one girl who's gonna go home. This is where all the girls line up at the end of the room and Bret gets in front of them like Patton addressing his troops. And I just love how seriously he takes this. Like he says these words like it's life and death to him.
This girl right here, I find more and more growing on me. I understand she has some very special sexual qualities.
He always gives a little speech about how hard it is to make this decision because he's got to choose from so many beautiful girls.
I am so sorry, you are so beautiful.
Because it's like super clear that the only way that he can describe a woman in any kind of way is to tell her how beautiful she is. Let's look at how many times he says that or something close to it in just one episode.
Beautiful, hot women, beautiful women, beautiful women, beautiful women, hottest women, beautiful girl, you're beautiful, beautiful women, beautiful and stunning girls, absolutely beautiful. Man, you're all so beautiful. Hey, beautiful girl. You're beautiful. All these girls are beautiful.
And remember, that is literally only the first episode. Again with the manager talk.
This next girl, without a doubt, made a great effort I think that is really starting to come around.
This sounds like the way that your boss at like fucking Best Buy would talk to you before he writes you up for not upselling people on credit cards enough or whatever. But we've got to talk about my favorite part of this show, the outfits. You guys know how much I love that like mid-2000s Red State butt rock festival kind of look. And there is no better showcase of that aesthetic than this show, especially Heather. The pink and green camo capris with the Britney Spears newsy hat like she's in a J-Lo video from 2001. Heather is the true drip god, just radiating pure Chad energy. Although I have to say, Destiny gives her a run for her money. Bootcut jeans, studded belt, camo tank top, and a rhinestone-encrusted pink cowboy hat with a cigarette in her hand. That is what I am fucking talking about. But holy shit, Daisy has maybe the strongest tramp stamp I've ever seen in my life. Look at that shit. And here's one of Bret's best outfits, again from season 2. I'm pretty sure this is one of those t-shirts with like the built-in long sleeves. I love how it just says tattoo on it. But nothing will ever beat the outfits he wears during the elimination sequences. I love how he walks out with just supreme confidence, even though he's wearing a fucking red bandana with like a pleather snakeskin trench coat. This is probably the single strongest outfit that anybody has ever worn in the history of mankind. The cowhide duster with this hat that looks like the cover of a Five Finger Death Punch album. There's like a skull and flames and probably some alligator teeth or some shit on there. Maybe an American flag. But if that wasn't enough, in the next episode, he's back with a tiger skin trench coat. I would highly encourage you to watch the entire 3 seasons. You can watch them for free on an app called Tubi. But in case you don't have time, I'll just share a few of my favorite moments. The first of which is when Bret meets Lacey's dad, who by the way is a giant fucking asshole, asking Bret all these like super douchey, uncomfortable questions.
Do you have hair underneath that hat?
Yeah. What in the fuck is up with Lacey's dad?
By the way, the answer is yes, he does. Bret's got to blow off some steam by hitting the heavy bag, wearing a polo shirt, Affliction jeans, and a flamed dad hat. Look at that low kick. He's like the white Anderson Silva. Meanwhile, her dad looks like the ultimate hate breed fan, straight out of Bass Pro Shops with his Nike Monarchs jorts and Oakleys over his hat with a beer in his hand. Heather starts yelling at Lacey.
Don't call me sweetie, you're a fucking liar and a bitch.
This is one of the most like subtly awkward moments on the show. Heather's like ranting. Meanwhile, Jess is just listening to her and pretending to eat out of this empty cereal bowl. Like there's nothing in there. What is she doing with that spoon? And here it comes.
Does your dad know that you're the only one that's done all this sexual shit with Bret? You've been sucking his cock every night since you know.
In front of all the dads. This might be the single most awkward moment on the entire 3 seasons of the show.
Sorry to bother you, big boy, but I just had somebody yell at me and Heather that I need to be concerned that my daughter sucked your cock.
Thank God for Amber's dad saying what we're all thinking.
I think any father feels like, you know, that their daughter deserves probably better than Bret, but he's a good guy.
Okay, you remember how I said before that I wanted to think Bret was a good guy, but he makes it pretty hard? Well, when I watched this, all doubt was removed from my mind. Heather decides that for her first tattoo, she wants to get his name tattooed on her fucking neck.
And you're gonna get his name, huh?
Right here in the back of my, it's my first tattoo, so.
So of course he tries to talk her out of it, right? Oh no.
If Heather actually goes through with this, it would impress the living shit out of me.
She actually fucking did it. She got his fucking name tattooed on her neck, and then in the next episode, he fucking eliminates her.
I don't think you're gonna be that girl.
And if that wasn't enough to make you think that this man is a psychopath, he does the same shit in season 2.
I want the Rock of Love logo in the heart with the 2 swords.
Destiny gets a tattoo of the show's logo, and then in the same fucking episode, he kicks her off.
Bret loves my tattoo.
Your Torrance here.
And then this motherfucker shows up. Daisy's ex-boyfriend, Charles, who is pure Chad energy. This man is everything that I have ever wanted to be in my entire life, distilled down into one perfect human. He's like a Guitar Hero character come to life. He's like Sinister Gates infused with the essence of Zeus, a god descended from heaven to show us what perfection looks like. This man is goals. By the way, I found him on Instagram, and he is still exactly the same person. I think Bret is just like a 13-year-old boy in the body of a 42-year-old man. It seems like there is one and only one thing that he thinks about. I'll play these clips and let you guess what that thing is.
And then I got worried. But then I looked at her body and I wasn't worried anymore. Being that I'm a man who cares about the way they're gonna feel in these suits, I had to get right up in there and make sure that it's good.
Imagine going on TV and saying, I had to get right up in there.
Brandy looked awesome. Made the old, just made it stand on end. You got sexy feet, by the way. When I saw this girl, I just thought completely hot, nasty rock and roll sex. I thought, what's that going on?
What's that going on?
Right.
You do have a beautiful ass.
When you look at her body, I mean, she is tight. I couldn't stop staring at her chest.
And if you're saying, oh, come on, he's just playing that character for the TV show, he's not really like a 13-year-old horn dog, watch this.
Oh, fuck. Oh, good God.
The way that he said, oh, fuck, you cannot fake that. He is that guy at the strip club that is ready to give the stripper every penny that he has to his name just for a chance to take her to that VIP room for the next 5 minutes.
What is going on?
He's really got away with words, doesn't he? There's a couple other odds and ends I wanted to mention here just because I wasn't sure where else to put it. For one, as I was doing some research, I found out that Bret Michaels wrote, produced, and directed a gritty psychological thriller called A Letter from Death Row.
I trusted you, Jessica. I told you I was innocent. I'd be in so much trouble, boy, if you just kept your mouth shut.
Which is exactly what you would expect that to be.
When I met Christy, she was a dancer. She was the most beautiful creature I'd ever seen.
Also, I would highly recommend checking out his Instagram if you like this. This is my single favorite Instagram post of all time. Good Sunday morning, up early, putting in my time to fight diabetes.
I started to feel really, really sick again from the diabetes.
With a close-up picture of his calf. I don't know where he's headed with this, but I'm here for it. It's that like pure, simple energy of boomers expressing their just unfiltered spirit on social media. All right, my friends, that does it for this video. Hopefully you haven't overdosed on cringe. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you are ready to make rock great again, then please join the movement to bring back rock-themed reality shows. Personally, what I want to see is breakdown of love. Or a bunch of guys who were in like B or C level crabcore bands 8 or 9 years ago compete for the chance to be with one of those Instagram girls who posts sexy pictures of herself wearing like a Bathory shirt with no pants. Before I let you go, I wanted to mention 2 things. Number 1, if you haven't, please check out the Punk Rock NBA podcast. I put out a new episode every Monday. Check out the link in the description. And as always, I want to thank everybody who supports us on Patreon, especially those of you who support at the True Cult level or above. It is because of your support that we are able to do the podcast. I actually lose quite a bit of money on that. So it's because of you all that I'm able to hire our producer and editor who makes the whole thing happen. So thank you very much for your support. I am sincerely, genuinely grateful for that. I'm always trying to find ways to make the Patreon better. So let me know if you have any ideas. And if you want to support us over there, you can do that at the link in the description of this video. And with that, I'm going to sign off for now, but I will see you next time.